It's gonna be as wild as it can be, with no apology. And you're gonna love the show. They're all their own wildflowers.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're looking live at the Wiildflowers. I'm Mandy Jones, and as always, next to me is Bonnie Scalisi. She is not here tonight. She would be here if she could, but Mother Nature is in our way. We are here in New York, and it is the Blizzard edition of the Wildflowers. So you're stuck with just me, unfortunately. But we do have something really awesome. It's actually even a surprise for Bonnie right now. She actually doesn't know that I have a guest not in the studio with us because, like I said, it's a blizzard here. But we have a guest with us tonight. So I'm super excited. So I'm just going to do a couple things real quick. Please, if you found the show and you love us, you will share the show. Share the show. Please share the show. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's Mandy Jones, the comedian. That's where you can pretty much find me anywhere. This weekend, we launched a new platform that distributes our show to multiple platforms. So we are now available not only on Facebook and YouTube, but we are also available on Spotify, Apple Music, Overcast, and Stitcher. So I don't know where you listen to your podcasts, but you can find us pretty much anywhere now. So that is great. Today is December 16th, if you can believe that shit. December 16th, 2020. So we're going to make it through the year, guys. We are going to make it. And I think that's about it. I think that's all I really want to say about me because I'm super excited to get into it with this surprise individual we have on tonight. So here we go. Without further ado, my friend and now yours, Miss Taz, the residential artist. Woo! Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. So thank you for being patient with me while we were doing some troubleshooting. Our sound check was also a learning experience. I'm like a granny trying to navigate around the internet. Did you notice I do have my glasses on now, actually?
Yeah.
So let's start off by saying how you and I got connected. Well, via the interweb, obviously. It's how everyone makes their connections nowadays. But what you watched Three's Company radio show, which was the first podcast. Well, not the first podcast I ever did, but the first podcast I hosted.
Yeah.
And how did you find Three's Company radio show?
So I'm friends with Joe DeVito, and Bonnie Scalisi found me from Joe DeVito, and then she added me as a friend, and
the rest is history. Once we add you as a friend, you're in our grasp. You're
right,
in our
exactly.
radar. We're hard to get away from. Aggressive, shameless self-promotion. Some might call it. But we connected, and what really sparked my heart about you is that you drew a picture while we were live. It was when Father Jim was still a co-host. It used to be called Three's Company Radio Show. This is Shut the Fuck Up. I'm trying to watch Three's Company. Jim Ray bought us these mugs, but I actually, we had that show first, and you've been with us since then, but you saw us on that show. I don't even remember how many episodes in we were, but you sent a picture of the three of us that you had done, and I was like, wow. Because I had made people laugh in audiences, and you touch someone for a moment, and a laugh is just a moment, Like, I have a friend who's a tattoo artist, and it's like he leaves permanent marks on people's bodies. There's a totally different degree of, I could bomb, and it's no harm, no foul. I might get booed off stage.
I'll never see you again.
I'm not, fucking up art on somebody's body. But you spoke to my heart because you drew something live and you sent it to us. And I was like, wow, this kid's enjoying our show enough to think to send us something. And you can't see it right now. You'll be able to see it. I mean, I guess if you silenced your phone and you pulled it up, you'd be able to see it. But it's the Calamity Jones. My profile picture is art that you did. You did the first Calamity. I said, I'm going to make the collective Calamity Jones, which you are very much a part of. You of course, because I mean, I always post like, this girl does custom art, but like fucking respect her time, because like you are so talented, and I know if somebody sends you a family of 10 people and 10 cats, you would draw it. But that takes time. But I want to get into like your history. I mean, I'm assuming you've always been attracted to drawing.
Yeah, I loved drawing because my dad is an artist, and he drew a lot, and I was just like, that seems like a fun way to pass the time. And so, when you're bored in school, that's like you have paper with you. It's a good way to get past the day.
Well, it's funny. My stepdad, he would graffiti his entire every textbook he owned, and he grew up in Tennessee, so like it was a small school, and the kids would want his textbook from the year before because it would have like really epic like murals on each page. Like you got like an art book with your history. Okay, so you got to practice downtime during school. And you're young, you're a kid, so like how did you even, like, people don't know your credentials, but you are because I just brought you on, they don't even know who the fuck I am. It's just a hole in the wall. But you've been on Fox News, you have some like big credentials, man. And how did that happen?
Yeah, so and back in 2015, because for a long time there I wasn't drawing at all. And I had stopped drawing, and I wanted to get back to drawing. And
how old? Remind me how old you would have been at that time.
Oh, 2015. 5 years ago.
Oh, 2015. A year 26. So you were like 20
years
old.
I'd be almost 21.
21. Okay, and you hadn't been drawing for a little while. Any particular reason, or it wasn't sparking you?
It was kind of a weird time of my life.
Okay.
And I was kind of in a rut, and it's kind of like,
exactly. Creativity takes a side when everything's going on in your life. Yeah, of course.
And you're like, that's cool, but when you need it most, and it's gone. You're just like,
right, exactly. Oh yeah, passion, that thing that fuels my heart. I'm gonna put that on the fucking back burner.
Awesome. But so in 2015, I was like done with it, right? And so with because I graduated high school in 2013, and so I started watching the show called Red Eye, which was on Fox News, and it's a late night show, so I never got to watch it every day like I would have in school, but like I had a curfew. So it was on at midnight my time, and it was on at 3 o'clock in the morning your guys' time. And I went to bed at like 9. So I would miss it. But then on Fridays I'd watch it. So I knew Red Eye since it came on. But but when I graduated, I started watching Red Eye regularly. And then so 2015, why that's important is because Greg Gutfeld, the host of Red Eye, was just like, all right, I'll see you later. And then there was a new host coming on. So I was just like, hey, I could draw this every day. And so I started drawing it every day. And then Tom Shalhoub, who was the new host of Red Eye, was just like, hey, I really like that. It's really cool. And Tom Shalhoub, he's an artist too. He draws. And so like me and him, we go back and forth with stuff like that. But he started like retweeting my drawings and stuff, and then I just met all these people, and like guests from Red Eye and all that stuff. Oh, it was so cool. That's how I met Joe DeVito and everything. So
it's kind of like really surreal, fun. Like how small the world is, and like the possibilities of the internet. Like we were doing a legitimate sound check for the people out there, and, you know, talking to your mom and you, I feel like I'm in your house when we're doing that sort of thing. Like when you Skype with someone, it really does feel intimate,
Yeah.
and you really do feel like you get to know people. Like one of the things I wanted to bring up is me and you have Skyped or FaceTimed, whatever the fuck you call it. I think it was through
Yeah.
Facebook, so whatever, Facebook
Yeah.
Messenger video, whatever the
No,
fuck platform
there's
we're
too
on.
many.
Whatever video conference call we were on.
Yeah.
But I'm like showing, I'm like, come on, you want to see my house, right? You know,
Yeah, it was cool.
and then I end up, I'm like, yeah. So I pull a, you know, Michael Jackson, because that's what I just do, and climb a tree. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
you're
and,
climbing a
I go, oh, and here are like local law enforcement, like the cops just driving down the road, like 30-year-old lady midday in her jammies, like normal, like having a convo with my friend. Nothing to see here at all. Like
They're just kind of side-eyeing, like.
and I'm like, is this like a breakthrough moment? Like, does this mean I'm a celeb now? Like, what does this mean? Is this a low point or a high point? Like,
Yeah.
you step back at certain moments of your life, but we shared a fucking guttural laugh over it, you know, because of course I'm climbing a tree, like when the cops roll by. I don't go in that tree that often, guys. Like, come on.
It's comfortable.
It was nice out.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know, because I'm like supposed to, like most comedians are comedy junkies and they know about every comedian, and like you were like Tom Shalhoub, like do I have to say it any other way for you? And I'm just like, I am a Martian. Like I really am really bad with a lot of those kind of things. But
Okay.
but it's funny because you had said, so like just this one person, it just takes that one person to see you and to recognize your passion and to feel your heart in it, and to say, you know, I like what this kid's doing. And it was cool that you set a challenge for yourself like that. You know, that's because like it was like you know, that's something that kept you happy. It's almost like a workout video or something, doing a workout. Like it's like a commitment.
It was really nice, yeah. And then it's like, you know, because they talk about the buddy system and how that keeps you going and stuff. And then like, but getting to know those people, it started becoming like a buddy system where I was just like, oh, I gotta draw this, you know. But then after a while, it did become somewhat obsessive, because I was just like, I need to draw this because I didn't want to get out of drawing again, you know.
Right.
Because it was just one of those things. But then after a while, I was just kind of like, that is kind of obsessive, so I just stopped. But so instead of like feeling guilty about missing a show, I'd just be like, I'll miss a few shows, that's fine, you know. But then it got canceled.
So thanks a lot, Taz, for not drawing those last couple episodes. I'm surprised Tom even likes to still talk to you. Because after you ruined the show and all.
Like, he's pitying me.
You got the show canceled. It's all good though. So that's pretty cool. And now what are your dreams and aspirations in terms of like what would be your I have a thing, don't quit your day. I didn't make it up, but I have a thing that says don't quit your daydream. And that's I mean I work a full-time job, but comedy is my passion, and I would love to make money doing it full time. That'd be amazing. So don't quit your daydream. What are your like aspirations in terms of what would be like your ideal setup?
I don't know, because like right now it's pretty good because I could draw for all these people, and like knowing all these people from Red Eye, I just draw for all those guys too. But I mainly the thing that I would change those, maybe going to New York more and actually being with those people that I draw for and stuff. And that,
there's like not a blizzard. You can stay at my house. I got plenty of room. Mom already knows me. I'm totally cool. I'm not a murderer. I swear. A murderer? Would a murderer say she's not a murderer? Come on, guys.
Yeah, I'm not a murderer.
Nothing to worry about. I'm not gonna hold your kid ransom or anything. Why would I even think of anything like that? Only a psycho person would
I'm a good person.
I would never think of anything like that. No, I mean, I've offered to put you on pegs and put your belongings in the contents of my bike basket. Like, I love you so much, and you obviously come to New York, please.
Yeah,
Actually, you
that'd
got
be
me
great.
you faked me out. You did the old fake out and got me to a Lou Pratt's comedy event, and then
Gotcha.
and then send Andrea in, which was great because it was so funny because we're like just people that, the people that get along just get along. Like we sat, like I met her in
Right.
the parking lot. They're like, yeah, you're like Taz's stand-in, right? We're like, all right, word. And then me and her husband walk in. It's like menus up. It's like, so what are you getting? Like, what are we having tonight? Like, just like we've known each other for 57
Yeah.
years. Because
So
that's just
cool.
how like our people are,
Yeah.
like the
Oh,
real
yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
So
Oh, man.
that was great
I miss
because
her.
what's that?
I miss her so much.
Oh my God! Well, I'm gonna have her on the Calamity Jones hour. I'm gonna have her on. Yeah, we didn't
So
pick a date
cool.
yet because for next year I gotta get because Bonnie organizes the Wildflowers, and now I gotta keep my shit for the Calamity Jones hour going because I'm like an idiot. Like I'm good at work. Like at work, my job at work is keeping the schedule. So like
Right.
when I get home, I don't want to do the schedule. There's a knock at my door. Just give me one moment.
Okay.
Oh my God, I didn't know that. I'm sorry. Were you calling me or something?
I was listening to what.
Oh my God. Okay, so it's a snowstorm, and I locked my housemate out. It's my brother from another mother, and he's from
right.
Tennessee. It's his first snow, so I figured I'd lock him out in the snow. It's funny because I was gonna text him, "Are you trying to get your ass beat?" Because the rule in the house is if I find a door unlocked, you're gonna get your ass beat. So I locked the back door, not knowing he's probably smoking a cigarette in the garage or something, like a totally normal adult human being. And yeah, I locked him out. And I almost was just sketched to like he almost had to wait till 8:30. I'm like, I'm not fucking. I got a live broadcast going on here. So that's where I'm at with. No, I love him dearly. Oh my God, he's been messaging me, he says. All right, 2 messages. Wait a minute. Let's see.
Oops.
All right, 7-4. All right, he's been messaging me. All right, 4 minutes ago. He's been all night. It's 4. All right,
I was kind of busy.
we're good. 4 minutes. It's not. If I looked down and I saw like 457 missed calls, I would have felt really bad. Now I only feel a little bad. All right, back to you. We were gonna do gifts was gonna be our topic for tonight.
Yeah.
With the holiday season, what kind of do you specifically remember any gifts that stuck out in your mind that were particularly grand? Maybe that you even gave or received?
So I was trying to think about it, and when we were talking about earlier, and Mom came in and was just like, "There's this one thing," and I was just like, "The GameCube, of course."
The GameCube. It's funny because I had my brother and my older sister and younger brother both gamers. So I always had the new consoles, but GameCube was not in our age range. It didn't fall on that. Yeah, so I had N64. I started
Yeah.
Sega Genesis was my first. Are you wearing an N64 shirt?
Yeah.
Diddy Kong, get my
that's right.
get at me, fucking Ratchet and Clank, right? Isn't that what it's
Ratchet and Clank. Yo.
Well, we're from like the. I mean, I know I'm an old lady, but like we're from like the same age group, and you actually are an old lady at heart too, because your favorite's like Three Dog Night. Oh my God, it cracked me up the other day. You drew Frank Sinatra, and under it just says Frank Sinooch. I'm like, oh my God.
Frank Sinooch. You're like, no, you can't do this.
No, I was fucking laughing out loud. You're a house, like I said, you're a household name. I'm like, look, get a load of Taz on this one, like. Which is
Yeah.
just great. I love it. I love it. So that's first you said, so drawing for Tom Shalhoub, that show, that was like an ongoing thing, but you also draw like the presidents, you draw Frank Sinatra, the Rat Pack,
The other president.
I love the happy birthday to the president's one, and there was actually history like behind it, like people,
Yeah.
people
I
had
love
weapons.
history so much. I love history.
Yeah, I'm not. See,
So
I
good.
love stories, but I don't know. History just isn't interesting me. I guess
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
It's okay.
it's fine. It's fine. Thank you for
It's not for
consoling
everyone.
me. It's not for everybody. I don't know. I wasn't gonna be able to sleep without that one. But yeah, no, so history. That's what about history specifically? Anything? Was it the first history teacher you had that did it for you, or
I
you
have
just
no
always
idea. I mean,
loved it?
yeah, I always loved it. I guess it's because my dad liked history as well, and because because dad always went to work, and we wouldn't see him because he was on swing shift. So we'd go to school, he'd go to work, we'd come home from school, and we're like, "Where's Daddy? He went out for smokes." But so it was just one of those things, and we only seen him during the weekend. And when the weekend rolled around, he was always at his chair watching the History Channel.
Okay,
But
that's what was cool because that's what Dad
yeah,
was
and
doing.
well, that was one thing though, is because I was just like, I want to hang out with him, so I just started like reading history books. But I ended up liking it too because I was just like, bro, this is tight. What the heck? This actually happened? Yo, Brad. My sister's up, by the way. Sorry.
You hear about this shit?
Yeah, bro. Did you know? And my dad's like, yeah. Bro, it's so cool. So I think that's why it was so cool to me, though, is because it's like all this cool stuff happened, but it actually happened. I'm like, this is possible.
Yeah, like you guys have been reading me fairy tales. Why? Like,
Yeah, this is
like,
lame.
there's like actual crazy, mad, wild shit going on. Like,
Yeah.
for real.
So yeah, I think
cool.
but I think that's what's like a turn on to it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So just wanting to connect with Dad, but then inadvertently falling in love with it yourself. That's cool. Are you a big reader?
No, that's the thing.
Am I locking him out again? No, I think that's just my door swinging in the wind.
Oh my. Oops.
I'm like, I just want to like watch him like fucking walk out another door and get locked out again. Oh my lord. I'm sorry.
No.
Was distracted. I did have a question for you. If you remember what it was, feel free to answer.
What was it? Oh, reading. I don't read.
Oh, okay, yeah, don't read at all. Me neither. Don't feel bad about it. I had my buddy over, my buddy on the Calamity Jones Hour, and I was like, can we just openly say that you graduated high school, I graduated college, and you have 100% read more books than me? Because his fear was always in high school that like he wasn't gonna read well, and so he just was like, I'm gonna double down and read more, and like fucking outread everybody. I mean, I hope I have time for it, but am I gonna really? It's like the gym, like get Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah, it's like
about,
that.
like, yeah, like
I started reading, and I'm like, that's cool, and then I'd stop reading. It's just one of those things.
I mean, I think the last thing I read was like Harry Potter.
When was that?
Exactly. Like fucking when I was supposed to. Like as a child.
A long time ago.
Decades, my child. So holiday gifts. Yeah, well, I got the Barbie Lamborghini one year. I don't know if you know anything about Power Wheels, but there was a Barbie Lamborghini, and I think my dad personally wanted it for himself because that wasn't something I asked for. That was something that just like came. But yeah, I have a picture. I'll throw it up of me cheesing hard with that thing. I was pumped. And I rode that thing till the fucking wheels fell off.
Oh my God. You're
I had a lot of fun. It was just a lot of fun. It was just a lot of fun. And we were talking with your mom earlier about having a sister. You having a sister. I have a sister who's 4 years older than me. So like my mom had to buy like doubles. To make sure that there was no bloodshed.
Yeah. But it's funny because like with Tony and I, we're so close in age and so just close in general that we just didn't really care. We have underwear and we're like, cool. We didn't share.
Just divvy them up and whatever you get, that's cool. I'm cool with whatever I get. That's
and then,
good.
I mean, we'd share too, so I mean, not underwear, but like toys.
We have to keep specifying that we're not talking about underwear
for
the rest of the episode. Not underwear that we're talking about, by the way. Well, that's good. I mean, my sister is like very generous, but when we were a kid, she was like, I stole the spotlight because not on purpose. I was 4 years younger than her, so my mom, like, it's funny because I watched the VHSs. I made them all digital for my family, and like so I was able to see some of them, and like my sister, like, it's like, my mom's like, get out of the shot, like, you're blocking the baby, and it's me. And then like 4 years later, cut to me, and like my little brother's the baby now, and they're like, get out of the shot, we want to see the baby, like, we've seen all your fucking shit, like, get new material and come back.
We're done with you. Get new material.
We already saw that season, like, this kid's like got new shit, like, just fucking, you had your turn, like, for 4 years. Give it a break. So, like, it's funny because, like, I always thought that, like, only Janelle got, like, only my older sister got, like, treated like that. But then I see, I'm like, oh, I got the boot too. I guess I understood.
You're just like, what the hell?
I guess I just understood more. I was like, oh yeah, he's cuter than me, I guess. Like, I should get out of the shot. But he's also he's also a boy, and where me and her are two girls, so that's like a total dynamic thing too.
Yeah.
So it's just the two girls. You don't have any brothers, right?
Right. Yeah. So it's just like my older sister, and we're 15 months apart.
Oh so man,
that's cool.
Yeah. That's
Mom's all like, oof.
Yeah, wow. Wait, and she's older, I'm sorry. She's older by 15 months?
Yeah, Tony's older by 15 months.
Yeah, wow.
She just
What's that?
She just made a sandwich for her work. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
And I know you love your cats, or cat. Is it multiple cats?
Yes.
What are their names?
Cats. Now that you mention, I think she's out. But
Produce the cats.
I'm sorry. Hey, Carrie, okay? She's here. I'm like, it's raining. I forgot. But yeah, Kit Kat, and we have Little Man as well.
Oh, Kit Kat.
Kit Kat, she's so cute.
My brother used to think that they were called breaks, because on the commercial, give me a break, give me a break.
Yeah.
Oh, Nancy Weems is saying that she also loves history. She shares your affinity. My mom's saying, hi, Athena. That's the dog. Mom, do you hear the dog in the background? Bonnie's saying, hi to my mom. Hi, Mom. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, Bonnie. Thank you.
One of those 8 nights of Hanukkah, I always got underwear. Bonnie says. Yeah, well, it's totally practical. I've been getting utilitarian gifts my whole life.
Waiting for that 8th day.
Shawnee's saying I've shared my underwear with all my battle buddies, and somebody's caring about that. Okay, yeah. So if you're in the freaking desert and your boy's got clean underwear and he's not giving them to you, that's not your friend. I'm sorry.
I know, right? So there's a difference.
That's not your friend. So yes, I would put on a Battle Buddies underwear in that predicament as well. Cedric saying, what's poppin'? Just hanging with the infamous Taz the Residential Artist, Cedric. What's poppin' with you? But Sean, and now Shawnee's saying, Athena's saying hi. The dog's saying hi from the basement. And my mom is also saying that we love Taz. So we don't hear the dog. She's actually typing. She's got her own username.
Oh my god. What's she under?
At Athena Majestic AF. You can find her at.
Nice.
My buddy who does the show on Thursdays, he's an infantry combat vet, and he talks about mental health awareness, suicide prevention. Tomorrow he's actually going to have someone who's not a vet on, but just who's got quite an intense story. So he's kind of like the yin to my yang, because me and Bonnie were like all nonsense, nothing serious, and then his stuff's like, soldiers integrating back into society, using art to integrate back into society, or finding your purpose, because that's basically what we all need to be happy. It's not just, it's civilians too, just like you saying, you're at a low point, you put your passion on the side. Like when I was at a low point, I found comedy because I needed to be around people who wanted to laugh, because I needed to bring myself up to a point where and I met a bunch of people where it's funny, I've seen people go off the rails at comedy shows, and people will say, remember guys, we're at a comedy show. You paid and you came in, and it's a comedy show, and we're all just laughing here, and these are just jokes, and this is just just reeling in sometimes. But so he's the yin to my yang, because he's got the more serious stuff. But I think we need both. Yeah. You need to be open and be able to vent about what's going on in your life, but you also need to just like send funny shit. Yeah. You need to do whatever it is that's gonna get it off your chest, because we all have shit.
And it also helps because like it's just knowing that everybody goes through it too, whether it's combat, whether it's this and that.
Right.
It's a comfort that knowing that everybody goes through their own thing, and to work on their own thing too, like drawing and comedy and stuff. And I think everybody needs comedy.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. You're one, like I said, you're someone that's inspired me to keep going. Like just knowing that you wanted to draw, I was like, okay, at least one person, is seeing this. And even if it's like Tiger King Trainwreck, you're just watching it because you can't look away because it's so fucking horrible. At least she's inspired enough to draw a picture of it. And
Father Jim with his strippers.
Yeah, because Jim's just a character, and we couldn't write that shit. We could not make that shit up. Like that was just
that was so funny. You're like, you are a Sunday school teacher, and he was like, yeah, and you're like, there's strippers here.
I'm like, what is going on? Wait, what is happening? Like,
I'm dizzy.
Yeah, I know. Jim got that one ripped off the internet, and Jim also got the other one ripped off the internet. Oh, I mean, somebody, I don't know who it was, but somebody else got the other one ripped off the internet. That was when we had the porn creators on. I don't know if you caught that episode. I have two friends, a husband and a wife, and they actually own a porn business. And they actually act and direct, and they're like reputable people. I'm gonna have them in the studio. I'm gonna have them back. I gotta hit them up because I've been thinking about them. But
they were pretty cool.
Yeah, they were great, because it's just such an interesting thing to hear people talk about that sort of thing without getting like, wanting to strangle each other. So Father Jim couldn't be seen with those two abominations of an episode, so those two are no longer available. The very first one with the strippers and the porn creators. But so if you saw it live, you're a real true follower.
OG.
Yeah, you're an OG. That's what I was looking for.
Oh man. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, so because you drew him with the cuff on, you drew him with the collar on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Andrew Fremder's hanging out. Oh, and Bonnie saying
Mr.
that was
Fremder
quite
is-
a memorable show. The strippers. Yes, it was, Bonnie. Yes, it was. But I gotta thank Father Jim because he put this whole thing together. He was the one that said Bonnie to Bonnie, and Bonnie got the spot, and those two pulled me into this. I wouldn't be doing a podcast.
Nice.
And thank God because COVID shut down my stand up. You could at least
Yeah.
draw during COVID. I
Yeah.
can't go to bars and perform
I
stand up.
know.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah, right.
And so luckily I had this podcast to look forward to, especially when I was like working remote. What do you got? What are you showing me? Is that real? Oh, you just froze up. What is that?
It was the cat.
Oh, it was a cat. I'm like, is that a real mint stole? Can I wear it? Can I borrow it when I come to New York? Because you froze up just as you were going by with it.
I know. I was like, oh no, I froze again.
No, that was hilarious. I thought you were showing me family heirlooms. I thought it was a fur.
1,000 years old.
I'll trade you for it when you come over.
Mm.
I have some knickknacks I've been meaning to get rid of. Oh my Lord. But you really did. You saved the day today with this, because with the snowstorm, I was about to have, not that he's not, I love him to death, but I asked my roommate, I'm like, worst case scenario, would you sit down at the table with me so I at least go live for a little while? And he said no, and I locked him out of the house. No, of course. No, he said of course. He said of course he would. He said of course he would. But I was like, but if anybody gets back to me, and I sent out a couple of people who had said that they would Skype prior and whatever. I sent out a couple of SOSs just because last minute sometimes it works better for people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when you said you were good, I started hitting everybody up position has been filled.
You're just kidding.
Unsending messages. What's your face? Is from the Real Drunk Housewives of Australia.
Oh, she's so sweet.
Yeah,
she
got back to me. She was like, "Oh well, I'm just getting the kitties off the bus," because they're 13 hours difference or whatever. But she said she'd come on at another time. So now I'll do a Skype with her at some point.
Nice.
So, it just opened the door. It was like a little blessing in disguise. A little silver lining. But I'm honored that you got to be part of it, because I didn't get to have Bonnie here.
honored.
But this is the Wildflowers. This truly is the episode of the Wildflowers. We got Robin DeVito watching as always. Bruno, they're all staying because it's you, and it's just me and boring old me and Bonnie. Buzzkill. What is your is there any other mediums you work with? I know you pen stuff and you have almost a cartoonist style, but do you paint at all? Do you work with any other mediums?
Some once in a great while I'll take out the paints and stuff, but and I rarely color. Just the other day I took out crayon and started coloring something. But digital art isn't really, it's a kind of a weird thing.
Something at cost, right?
Yeah. And but I draw something on paper and pen, and then I scan it, and sometimes I color it that way digitally. And that's fun. But and now with cuz I have my dad's computer, and it's a touch screen, so I could go like this and color.
Okay.
And it's way easier that way.
Yeah.
So I've been playing around with that, and so that's fun. But other than that, no, it's basically just pen and paper.
Do you feel like a
Now
lot
pencil,
of people in your industry are going towards the digital stuff? Because I kind of feel like some of it's a cop out.
Yeah. Digital, it's funny because to me I can't do digital, but other people, and it's weird. Digital artists, a lot of them can't draw how I do it naturally.
Right.
And I'm just but it's the same thing though, isn't it? They have the tablet and they're using their pen and stuff. And yeah, it's on the computer, but yeah, when they draw it on paper, it's nothing. It's like stick figures, And I'm just how? How is that different?
Yeah, no, that's odd. That's odd. I mean, I like my buddy who's a tattoo artist who will do a lot of
Yeah.
stuff on the tablet. Like he's got programs like as he's drawing it, like the symmetry will just come up naturally. Like so he just does
Yeah.
half a circle and the rest of it's just perfect. You know,
That's
so he's got like all like programs like that where I'm like, is that not cheating? Wait, oh, okay, okay. He's just signaling, and I'm just making sure it's good signaling. He's like, thumbs up. Okay, cool.
Oh, is it good? Okay.
It's like, I was like, I don't know if it means no sound, like nobody
Just
can
a
hear
I
you.
pooped.
Like, keep it rocking. Don't let me distract you. No, I love you, Shawnee. I love you, Taz. So the Christmas spirit, is there anything this year that you guys are doing or just thankful that you're alive because it's 2020?
We're like, we made it.
Yeah,
It's 2020. It's going to be 2021.
That's all we're doing. That's all me and my
Yeah.
family are doing. We're like, we're gonna not get gifts. We're gonna buy a little more we'll spend a little more on the food.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We just got pizza the other day, and I'm like, I'm set, dude. I don't even care.
Hannah doesn't even need to come. I got pizza.
Yeah.
You are not a New Yorker, my friend. I need pizza like 18 more times before Santa's not coming.
Oh my god. But yeah, we're celebrating Jesus Christ on his birthday.
That's nice. Well, did you go to church like growing up? Or are you confirmed and all that good stuff?
Okay, so that's the weird thing. A lot of people think that I would go to church and stuff. I have actually never been to church ever in my life. Yeah. And but I am religious. I like God and like Jesus, but I think it's a more of a personal thing. So it's just kind of like, I don't know.
Well, that's totally how I am. Like I was baptized, but my mom didn't make me get confirmed. She's like, oh, you did the holy water, like you're good, like that's like enough.
You're fine.
It's like all they really want, I guess. And,
Yeah.
The other one's just about a middle name, and you don't even have a first middle name, so you'll be fine. Like, so. So I didn't do that, but yeah, no, it's very much what's in your heart and like like you said, a personal relationship. Because like, it's funny, Theo Von. I don't know if you know that comedian. I'll send you his stuff. Theo Von. Do you know him? Oh my god, he's hilarious. I'll send you some stuff. I'll send you some stuff, like because like this is what I'm talking about. Comedy junkies, like, oh, but you don't know. This is now me being a fucking. What do you mean? You know, but so I'll send him to you. But he's fucking hilarious. But like he was saying, like on like a serious note, one day he's like, I know I live in LA and it's not cool to like believe in God, but like I do, like. You know, and I usually say more like I really more believe like the universe and like not exactly karma so much as like in the long run.
Yeah.
Do you want to be a shitty person or do you want to be a good person? I do think you reap what you sow. I mean, like karma's at work a little bit there, but I don't think it's as instantaneous as people chalk it up to be.
I mean, that's like one of the verses is just like it's like basically be patient and stuff because everything comes in due time, like in the right moment. Right. So there's always a right moment for everything, but so, you know.
Right. And it's funny because Glenn has been telling me, he's like, you got to do like a Skype. You should start doing Skype because Shawnee, who does the show on Thursday night, predominantly his guests are from all over the fucking country, and they're predominantly Skype guests. Like, yeah. So I know how to use the program with Skype, but having you here tonight, like I said, it was like a new format. I got to say that like we had just launched all these new platforms. And it's like this little blessing in disguise. Bonnie didn't get to be here, but like when she was calling me, I could hear it shaking in her voice. It killed her to tell me that she couldn't make it, and the guests couldn't make it. But it's like it's 2020, dude. We're lucky to be alive. Like we're not gonna crash on the way to fucking my table. Stay where you are. Batten down the fucking hatches. You know what I mean? Like it's supposed to go really bad. Like they'll plow tomorrow, and if it's safe, you fucking go about your business. But mid blizzard, you don't need to be fucking, you know, and if you didn't come on, Shawnee was willing to sit here with me and bullshit, and I was like, dude, we might do 15 minutes just to say this is Wildflowers and it's a blizzard and fucking shit happens. Welcome to life. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
get with the program, adapt. I don't know. Like, but it worked out perfectly because, you know, you got back to me and you're someone that I feel so comfortable with. I feel like I know you, like I said, even though it's only through the internet, we do have
Yeah.
a real connection. And like,
Yeah.
it's totally crazy because they say you're not like back in the day, you met like 40 people in your lifetime. You know what I mean? Like people come to town, you'd meet like one guy that wasn't your cousin like once randomly. You know what I mean? Like now, like
Yeah.
you're on the fucking major highway, you see 40 people on your first fucking straightaway. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so, like, just the number of faces we see and the number of people we interact with, like, I mean, I know we are evolving as humans, but, like, it's, like, a lot. It's, like, a lot for people.
It's sometimes too much. You're just like, who was that? Oh, yeah. You know?
Right. And I'll feel bad because, like, not even being pretentious, like, seeing somebody on it, seeing somebody, especially with the mask now, like, there was a couple of things that I went to at comedy clubs that were, like, protesting for, you know, just, like, let us do our art. We're doing it safely, you know? And with the mask on and Facebook, having a bunch of friends, and they're like, oh, hey, Mandy, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? And I honestly don't recognize you. It's not because I'm a pretentious asshole. It's literally just because I only could see this much of you, and I just didn't recognize you for a second. But it's because we're interacting with all these people, and like you said, you got to. What's that?
I was just like, there's just too many.
No, and you have to disconnect. Like, almost, it's funny because, like, I feel like during the week I have, like, homework of, like, oh, I gotta get up the flyer for the week, I gotta get up this, gotta get up that, gotta do this, because, like, during the weekend I try not to, like, I try to, like, live in the moment and try to, like, not worry about this and, like, be on Facebook the whole time, you know?
Yeah, like, exactly.
Because it has to be part of my life for this career, like, because I fell off the fucking face for a really long time. Like, I got, like, really sketched out about internet, and I was like, I don't want anyone to find me, and that's when you're at a low point. You don't want anyone to see what you're up to, obviously. And I went to an open mic because I decided started writing jokes in August, and then I went to an open mic the night before Halloween, and the guy there was like, all right, what's your Facebook? So that, you know, you could add everybody on Facebook and start networking. And I was like, I don't have a Facebook. He's like, all right, well, you need a Facebook. So that I, like, went home and created a Facebook, and now I'm, like, on the grid. And it's great because, like, I'm in touch with, like, old friends from high school and people that, like, I was never mean to or nice to. Like, just, you know, never maybe cross paths. And it's great, you know? But, yeah, it's a lot of people. What, are you getting, a package?
No. I was saying goodbye to Tony. Oh, she's going to work.
You could have legitimately said hello. You didn't need to sign language it. I would have said hello. I tell Tony, I said good night and have a nice time at work.
Okay. I will.
Text her immediately. Text her at once. No.
She's driving. She's like...
And you guys live, like, 2 houses away, right? You live, like, right on the premises?
Yeah. Mom's in the back.
Awesome.
We have like a fence, and then we made like a little gate, so we just go back and forth.
Just enough.
It's pretty cool.
Space, and it's like, is Mom cooking? Like, all right, I better go outside. Like, I think I smell something good over there. Like,
I smell it.
That's nice. That's nice for everyone to be so close.
Oh, I love my family.
That's good. I know. I could tell you're from a good family. And like you've sent me, like, pictures of you and your mom goofing around, and, like, you know what I mean. Like, I feel, like I said, I feel like I'm part of, like, part of the family. Know you.
Got you, man.
and that's part of the beauty of comedy, and that's what I like. That's what keeps me coming back for more. Like, honestly, tonight I was like, the show must go on. Like, what excuse do I have? I'm safely at my kitchen table. Like, oh man, because Bonnie is not there. Like, and Bonnie, like, you know, was like, do whatever the fuck you want. You can fucking go on for 10 minutes. Bonnie's like, no pressure. Like, do whatever the fuck you want. But, like, I feel like I made this commitment, and for an hour, at least, you know, like, try to fucking
Yeah.
up and do my thing, and, like, it wouldn't have been the end of the world. Like you said, if you missed an episode of Tom Shalhoub's show, even though you're the reason it got canceled. It wouldn't have been the end of the world if I didn't go. But I'm like, what? This is my Wednesday night. This is what I look forward to. Like, come on.
Right, yeah.
Get with the program,
Exactly.
Mandy, you know?
And it is something that you look forward to. Yeah.
And my mom would be texting me like, "Where's the show?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I fucking just decided to not do it tonight.
Yeah.
Like, it snowed." She'd be like, "But you're home safe, right? Why didn't you just do the show, Mandy?" And I'm like, "Oh, Mom, you're right. Why didn't I just do the show?"
You're like, okay.
No, seriously, that's how my mom is. Oh, and Jim Ray is saying the show must go on.
So Jim.
Oh, Shawnee's saying maybe after this, the Wild Boys Majestic Hour with Jackie Boy. Oh my God! So Jackie Boy is my little brother-in-law's like best friend. So I've known this kid since he was a punk little nothing. You know, but now he's like, you know, can drink legally and stuff, and you know, he's an adult. But he's wild. So stay tuned. There might be a fucking real Wild live after this one. We might just be warming the crowd up for this fucking shit. If you enjoyed Jaz's interview, you might also like this crazy ass fucking shit. Because I cannot say I will put a disclaimer on the bottom. I got nothing to do with anything that comes out of these guys' mouths.
I'm just light version.
Yeah, if I'm nervous, you can only imagine, right?
Yeah.
Right, maybe?
That's true. You're like,
I push it.
He might say something.
Well, it was funny because I won't say her name, but somebody at the old station, she had said, she was like, she's about Jim. She's like, he's got to stop saying off-colored stuff. He can't. She's like, well, Mandy says that it's cute. You know, Mandy can get away with it, but just... Yeah, like Mandy, when she's talking about fucking really horrible stuff, we know she's joking. Obviously. As a white male,
obviously, she doesn't mean it, right?
As a white male, you can't say that kind of stuff. Like, you don't get the fucking privilege of that, dude. Not even for jokes. No, not even for jokes. Write better jokes.
Ow.
Stay in your lane, Mandy. Do whatever you want to do, I guess.
You're like, because everybody knows that I'm joking.
Yeah, well, they look at me. They're like, "Come on," like, you know. Well, it was bad because I went on one show, my friend Dan Arana's show, and I go on his show, and it was when the masks were, you know, I wanted to wear a mask on. Me and Bonnie were still wearing masks on our show, so yeah. I was going to another studio. I wanted to wear a mask, and I'm totally like wearing it wrong, not on purpose, but at that point on purpose. It's like on my head. Yeah. I'm like drinking champagne. And and I said, he was like, really, come on, you're not gonna take the mask off, because he's half deaf and really just wants to read my lips so that he can so that he can hear what I'm saying. But I'm like, dude, I can't take it off, I'll die. And like I said that to Glenn, like jokingly, and he's like, you can't say that, like people are stupid. I'm like, they're like gonna think you're like fear mongering, like you like can't like. I'm like, Mandy Jones, the comedian, is my tag everywhere. Like, if you can't get that, like, I'm a sarcastic, ironic fucking piece of shit, like, you got another thing coming. I don't know, dude. Like, you got a lot.
Or like they'd be like, "Oh, you're one of those," and you're like, "No."
I'm like, no, because I looked at him dead in the eyes. I said, "I can't take it off. I'll die." Like, isn't that a joke? Obviously, clearly. With that, like, stern, like, yeah, like, come on, guys. Any sense of humor, you'll pick that up.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful, because stuff can get clipped out of context with all this shit. Anything I say can and will be fucking held against me. Like, I joke about Bonnie being a Jew, like, constantly, and it's, like, not okay. You know what I mean? Like, she loves
it's kind of unhealthy.
It's an unhealthy obsession that I have. Said I'm coming clean to you now because she's not here.
We love you, Bonnie. But it's like, I don't know. When people are just like out of context and everything, it's just like I want to be comfortable with what I say, and then they're like, but you shouldn't be comfortable saying these things, you know? And I'm like, but what gives a person a right to deem whether or not it's okay or not? You know what I mean?
Right,
I don't.
right.
It's so
Right,
weird.
because like like some people love horror and like love to
Right.
talk about horror and will talk about the gruesome scenes, and some people will fucking spill their lunch if you fucking talk about horror. So like,
Yeah.
who's to say that like talking about horror films is good or bad? Like, it's
Exactly.
personal preference. Like, okay, I personally might not want to hear about a gruesome scene at dinner, but I don't mind hearing about a gruesome scene any other time.
Especially spaghetti.
Like, you know, but other than that, you know, it's pretty, you know, pretty easygoing. But yeah, no, that's
Right.
and it's funny because the comedians, a lot of them make the point. It's like freedom of speech until you don't like what I'm saying.
Right. Exactly.
Right, until my opinion's no longer jiving with yours, now you want to cut off what I'm saying.
Yeah. And I mean, it is a bad thing, hate speech, but it's also like that's under free speech. I mean, you know, some, you know, is
Right.
obviously bad,
Right.
but it's also like,
and us the poking fun at it is part of
yeah,
like how we solve the problem. Like as
right,
comedians, part of like
exactly.
bringing it to light about like how preposterous and laughable a lot of this stuff is what
Yeah.
makes the conversation happen. Like even talking before about Shawnee's podcast, like you said, everyone's got their own combat that they've gone through, and just knowing that there's somebody out there that's like, I don't feel like getting out of bed every morning. You see me, I fucking put on makeup and I'm like, but I started doing the promos with no makeup when I got home from work because I don't just run around my house and look like this. I work and I come home and I don't fucking it's hard for me to get out of bed every single morning. I don't like get off the couch. This is a fucking Mike Birbiglia line, but like I don't just get off the bed like I'm getting off the bench at a basketball team, like, you know, game.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
All right, let's
Yeah.
fucking do this shit. Like
You're just like, oh, all right. Let's go.
I'm like, again, I'm still alive. What day is it?
Like,
How far?
Yeah.
And then when it's Wednesday, I'm like, okay, like I do actually, and like tomorrow I'll naturally like wake up earlier because I have like the pure momentum of this conversation. I'll like fucking that pure high I will live off of until tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And tomorrow they'll be like, what happened last night? I'll be like, I had fucking great ass time, you know, and
On my show.
at my kitchen table with my best. And no, but it's the kind of stuff that keeps us going, and it's I don't know. There's just so much. I'm glad that we've connected. I'm really
Yeah.
glad, and I'm so thankful that you were here tonight with me. I really am.
Well, thank you.
We're gonna have you back when I'm gonna show Bonnie all of this, and we'll have you back when you get the full effect. You know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this was just like an impromptu little bonus snowed in feature. And what's the weather like by you? Are you guys getting any snow? Have you been?
We never
it?
get snow.
Ever?
Like, and it's funny because when we do get snow, which we haven't for a long time, but when we did get snow, the school would be like, "You're going to school though," and we're just like, so we never got to play in it, but we watched it. And then when we got out from school, it would all be melted, and we're like, thanks. But so it was just one of those things.
It was more like an illusion.
We never have blizzards. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Or it would be just icy. That's it. It's just ice.
That's what you gotta watch out for.
Yeah, I know. It's dangerous. It's not fun. It's just dangerous over here.
Not a joke. I know we've been joking all night, but that is not serious. Do not joke about black ice. That's where I actually draw the line.
Black ice kills.
Black ice matters. No, no,
Yeah,
black ice. No, seriously, it's fucking like silent killer. I was,
it really is though.
no, because Bonnie even said she's like the drive over here. I'm not as nervous about as the drive back. You know, darker, a couple
Right,
another
right.
hour under. You know, plus we talk for a half hour to 45 minutes post show. What we're
Yeah.
not allowed to say on air in front of public. You know, air out our dirty laundry, so to speak.
We could actually say things that we want to.
Yeah, we're not gonna be censored. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the hour went so fucking fast with you. I didn't even get to ask like a lot of the questions I had. So we're gonna have to definitely have you back. We're definitely gonna have to have you back.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, dude. Like I said, you're my little Christmas angel because I never get surprises, and you fucking came through in a jam, and I love you very much for it. And I'm very
Love you.
thankful. I'm very, very thankful. And this is honestly, this is the last episode of the Wildflowers for 2020. So thank you
Oh
for
my
being.
god.
So thank you for being a part of it because yeah, because it's Wednesday's gonna fall like 2 days before New Year's Eve, and it's just we're gonna wait till next year to we're gonna do a brief 2 week hiatus of the two shows, family time and that kind of sort of thing. And yeah, so this is the last episode. So Bonnie and I will be back on
So-
January 6th. Yeah,
Oh,
so it honestly worked out perfectly. It couldn't have been a more better guest because you've been with us since Father Jim. You've been with us. You're an OG. You're an OG. So
thanks,
thank you for being you. I really appreciate your time, Taz. Taz, the residential artist, everybody. Please follow her on Instagram. Look at her fucking amazing art. DM her because you do custom art, correct? You do
Yes.
custom art.
Yes, I do.
So if you message her with maybe photos of your family, she's done photos of me and Glenn, Bonnie and I. You put your pets in there, and obviously it's custom art. So respect this lady's time. She's a beautiful young soul, and we are very thankful to have her as part of the Calamity family.
Thank
And you are sweet as pie. Thank you, Taz. Get home safe, everybody. Black ice is no joke. We love you.
No.
Be good. Bye.
you.